Hey everyone, Real Comic Stacks, welcome back to the channel. And guys, today we're diving into Invaders number 4, which goes into the shocking history, the secret history of Namor. And they are pulling on what he called earlier, that Xavier thread. So Captain America, Human Torch, and Nay. Nay is Randall's daughter. Randall was a World War II veteran that was friends with Cap and Jim Hammond's the original Human Torch. They're recovering from this attack that Namor launched on them, and Randall actually died during the attack. Well, they go in. She's telling them the history, the backstory of what happened with Namor, this big secret that they were keeping from everyone. And basically, it goes on to talk about Namor post World War II, how he didn't feel right in Atlantis, and he didn't feel right on land. He was a man stuck between two worlds. Eventually, his duty called him to Atlantis and called him back home, or back to the sea. But he eventually showed back up. He couldn't quite remember Nay's name or anything, but he showed back up when she was about to have a baby, and apparently the father's not around. But he just called the family his lighthouse. So back in Submariner number 1, back in the day, a villain named Destin gave Namor amnesia. And through the fog of this amnesia, he managed to find his way back to this family. This family, like any, has experienced changes in that time. Randall's wife had passed away by this point, and Nay had had her baby named Roman, which conveniently is Namor backwards. But even though Namor's found his way back, he's still struggling. He's still fighting these dreams from the war. He's still just, he can't gain his memories back, and it's just, it's killing him. But he's making the most of it, and he's out playing football, throwing back and forth with Roman one day, and this bald mutant walks up named Charles Xavier, talking and preaching about Homo Superior. And Charles Xavier gets his hooks in him and convinces him to, go all over the world with him looking for other mutants. And they're extremely unsuccessful. I love this shot of Wolverine hanging out right above them. But they just are unable to find anyone. And they finally think they're going to get their big break in this town where they're talking about cat people. A mutant is apparently turning people into cats or cat-like things, and the police have they get notification that they've cornered him, so they're rushing out to try to help him. And this mutant is accidentally turning people into animals. So Namor is assessing the scene and goes up and is looking at this guy now, and Professor X is keeping everybody from pulling the trigger, and when he looks down, he sees this guy, and it freaks Namor out. But then Professor X starts talking about how we can accelerate Homo Superior. We can turn everybody into mutants. Not just... It's the complete opposite of the coexistence rant that we know Professor Xavier for. But Namor, he hears this, and he grabs Charles, and he slams him up against a truck and says, "Do you honestly think that's how this will go? The humans will find out about this mutant, and they will turn him against us. They will turn us all to humans." And when he does that, Professor X loses his concentration on everyone else, and the trigger gets pulled, and Namor snaps when he finds out that this mutant is dead, and he just goes off on the police. He's slamming cars, and he's back to calling them, bags of water. You murder each other as readily as you breathe. And that's when Professor X has to take charge of the situation. And what he does is he dives into Namor's mind, and he finds the pinpoint, the spot in the windshield where the shattering began, and it goes back to the death of his friend Tommy McCann, who died during World War II, and Namor wasn't able to save him. So what Professor X does is he takes this and he tells Namor, you need to talk. You need to have someone to talk to. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide you that person. And he basically, in Namor's mind, resurrects Tommy. And this is interesting because now Meccan is this guy that's leading him to destroy Earth, or destroy the surface world. From there, Namor basically disappears for a couple years, and he isn't found until later by Johnny Storm when he's running around New York in a fog, and basically he manages to get his memories back. He's reunited with Randall and his family, but from that point forward, something just isn't right. Something is in the back of his mind bugging him, and Nay can go back and remember that it just wasn't right. But he had helped his son before, or her son before, and that mattered. From there, we go to the Winter Soldier. It's this component that he had to have, that Namor had to have to finish this weapon that was going to destroy everything on the surface. Apparently was a $200, $300 drone from Walmart. And not only that, but remember old girl that he gave his pistol to earlier? Guess what she's about to do? Pulls the pistol, puts it to the back of his head, doesn't even offer a threat, and boom, Bucky Barnes is on the ground in a pool of blood with a bullet in the back of his head. Just like that. Not only did she shoot him, but she's on the phone with Roman. She says they're planning to get the components to the Atlanteans. But wait, there's more. Who walks in? That's right, Roman. Roman walks in with our admiral from earlier, Red October, and wants to talk about the plan for attacking Atlantis. So once again, I'm hats off on this book so far. Invaders has been really good. Did we just see the death of Winter Soldier in Invaders number 4? I mean, I don't know how you survive that, even with a healing factor. A bullet to the back of the head isn't something you get over real quick. The series is wrapping up soon. It's a 5-part. Chip Zdarsky's been killing it. I've really enjoyed this series. They've had me guessing the whole time. I knew it was going to end bad. I didn't think Winter Soldier was going to get shot. I didn't think we were going that far with it. But oh man, I got to pick this one up. I highly recommend it. If you aren't reading Invaders, definitely recommend trying to get the back issues and checking it out. And guys, that's all I got for right now. If as usual, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I highly encourage you to go jam that subscribe button. Leave a like, and of course leave a comment. It helps out small channels like mine, trying to get those clicks and get the channel growing a little bit. Guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to check out this video. Real Comic Stacks out.